no surprises, I'm on my way to Taliban again. The truck is an ideal place to have a talking head video. So I'm on my way. It's about 20 kilometers. Kilometers means nothing to me. Being brought up in the UK, so they never quite went over during my time there. Never quite went over to this system. But anyway, it's difficult these days to get up, and unless you make a concerted effort to feel good, to go over those things that you're grateful for, then you can be on a steady dive into the doldrums, or worse. So I wanted to make a comment on that. The thing is that when you're really talking, I guess they call it stream of consciousness, when you talk without a linear way of thinking, then whatever comes up is what you deal with, and sometimes it can seem disjointed. The best training that you can have for being able to take in this kind of meandering is by reading Catch-22. Catch-22 was written by, in case you don't know, in the unlikely case that you don't know about the book, it was written by Joseph Heller. He wrote several books, but Catch-22 went into the dictionary. Catch-22 is when you're really stuck between a rock and a hard place. And there, I've used another saying to describe the saying. Catch-22. In the book Catch-22, it was demonstrated when Yossarian, the main anti-hero of the book, talks to Doc Danica, and he asks him, "Can you ground me and get me sent home out of this war?" And Danica said, "Yeah, of course I can. So what do I have to do?" "Well, you have to ask me." So he said, "Okay, I'm asking you." He said, "Well, now that you've asked me, I can't do it, because you can't be insane if you want to get out of this war. So in order to get out, you have to be insane, in which case you wouldn't ask to get out of the war." A little bit of a complicated explanation, but that's kind of what that's the way that Joseph Heller writes, where he can be dealing with one particular incident and he will introduce another and make a reference to it which he's never mentioned before, and which makes you say, well, where did that come from, and where does it go to? And gradually you get to have the whole tapestry threaded in front of your eyes. I'm trying to get past this guy here. It's a lady. So in a position that I don't like now. I'm in between two big trucks. Okay. So the hard times that I believe are coming so far have not come to our little corner of the Philippines. Food is plentiful, prices are increasing, it's true, but here's the irony. When things get difficult, people who've got nothing have already been experiencing the difficulties more than perhaps you and I will ever know, and so they're equipped to handle this deprivation which we are threatened with. My friends in the UK are telling me that things are extremely bad there, that things are doubling where it will cost. One example that I was given is that because of the power increases, my friend thought that it would probably cost £5 to cook the Sunday dinner in the oven because power is so expensive now. Now the thing is that the accusation or allegation of the ordinary man in the street is that there's no need for those increases because the power companies, these giant corporations, are making colossal profits. So why is that not being passed down to the ordinary person? There will doubtless be people who give up. Now when the lockdowns were introduced, they were quickly proven not to work. I don't think that this is true. They did work, but they were not working for the same agenda that other people thought. The supposition, the assumption is that they were being mandated to help, and I don't believe that they are being mandated to help. So the fact that they're doing what they do, strangling business and stuff like that, was always the plan. So they got a great success. But my friend who suggested that, he lives in quite an isolated place, and because of that, he is a survivalist. He knows that that power is going to be is already prohibitive. The cost is prohibitive, and so he cooks over an open fire. He's married to a Filipino. Like I said, Filipinos, they'll be able to survive. The vaccinations are another thing, but as far as surviving goes, the Filipinos can survive. You know, they've been eating very basic food for a long time. We went to see one boy who was pretty well paralyzed. What had happened was his legs had gotten very, very weak, and he sat down, and because he didn't get up again, his legs atrophied even more. But when we went to see him, we actually built a house for him, and while we're talking, I said, "Do you have food?" And he said, "No." Hesitant to say this. Filipinos, as far as the haters go, if you listen to the haters, Filipinos will be this and that and terrible, and I don't find that it's true. I don't find that, unlike the haters will have you believe, that they can ask for everything. Of course, it's true that if you do give a lot and they think that you are wealthy, why would they not ask when they're going hungry? Well, I think his name, if I remember rightly, is from a few years ago now, one of the early houses that we built. I think it was Tag Tag, and in a terrible situation. He was being supported barely by, I think, his brother, who came up and helped him and brought some rice. I asked him, "Did you eat today?" No, I didn't eat anything today." "Did you eat yesterday?" And he said, "Yes, I had food yesterday." "What did you have?" "You had food? What food? What did you have? What was your meal?" He said, I had rice, boiled rice with some salt." That was his meal the day before. What I'm trying to illustrate is that when things get rough, the people who have been living on the absolute baseline are the ones that will survive, because they've been surviving in that way. Now, on the table contrary to whatever you may have heard about our lifestyle of the rich and famous with a swimming pool, our 15-foot square swimming pool, which somehow got exaggerated into being an Olympic swimming pool. These things, actually, they used to annoy me, but they make me laugh now. We eat very basic. There's not going to be a great feeling of deprivation at the table where we eat every evening. We have dinner with Nanai, and Vek does the cooking, and she does it over an open fire, which is in a dirty kitchen just outside where we eat. And we eat lots of things which I cannot eat, so when I eat at home, the diet that I have is actually very basic: boiled rice and chicken, which is cooked in a broth, which suits me fine. And the vegetables that I can eat are served if and when they come up. Not if, but when. And there are vegetables that I do like, but there are some which are like a cucumber, which is not my favorite. It's not my favorite vegetable anyway, but it's a kind of bitter cucumber, and that I can't eat. I don't actually like a lot of seafood. I do like fish, but not the stinky little fish that Filipinos love. They like it cooked to a crisp. So that's usually out for most foreigners, from what I see. The foreigners don't actually care much for that. So my diet is fairly basic, and the diet of Beth and the family will be of homegrown vegetables. Some of the names I actually don't know. I don't know what they're called, so I can't share that with you. But anyway, it's an acquired Filipino taste, which I don't have. So the variety in my diet is when I eat out, and then when I eat out, there's only two. Well, there's more, but the two restaurants that we have always been to is PP Coffee, which has a set menu which you can order from, and very reasonably priced. Wonderful people who will take care of you as if you are royalty. And then there's Videsto. Videsto has a more varied menu, and we've been going there ever since we found it, which is probably 5 or 6 years ago. So I'm in town now. I see more, which is a reflection of how it is. I see more look at these people, they won't let anybody cross. Come on. Do it. Motorcyclists, they will not stop for a crossing. Those people are scared to cross. Sorry, I can't see that. I was stopping at a crossing, and nobody else will stop. So the mother and child were scared of crossing. So anyway, I'm in the centre now of Taliban, so I'll stop rabbiting, as they would say in the UK. Okay, thanks for being with me. I have my most disliked chore to do now, which is going